So this is about 9 o'clock in the evening. I am here to remove a bee swarm. I like this time because the bees are settled, they're not flying as much, and it's sunset. It's about the time where you can still see them, but they're not going to be flying as much. And so I'm in the neighborhood with many homes, so I'm just going to go knock on the door and get the swarm removed. It's about 3 feet high, so I'm going to grab my big box. Has a screen on it, a screen at the bottom, and we'll do that. So the bees are right here.
Okay.
And
how do you
I got my box.
Okay.
Sometimes I put frames over here.
Okay.
But the whole thing is so they can breathe from the bottom. It wouldn't get too hot during the hot days. Right. And I can tighten the screw and transport them safely. But it's big enough that if it's a big swarm, I can just shake it off.
Okay.
The whole idea is to shake them, and the rest will kind of fall or follow.
Okay.
If the queen goes inside, they should follow her scent.
How do you tell where the queen is?
She's just a little bit bigger than the other bees, so it's hard to know, but usually if most of them fall in there, everything's gonna fall. So
I'm gonna stand way back.
Sometimes they can be protective, but sometimes you can even grab them with the bare hand.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I see it.
Oh, dude, you made me cringe.
Do you mind holding the camera?
Sure.
Sometimes you can grab them with the bare hand.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Don't do this towards the evening because I got stung all over my fingers. It's towards the evening, so they are a little unhappy.
Okay.
But it's okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah. So they're a little protective because you can do this easily during the day and it's fine.
Okay.
Are you allergic to bees?
No, but I don't want to get stung either. I'm gonna cut. How far should I go?
Yeah, maybe a little farther.
Okay.
If it was the day, they wouldn't sting me at all. But
really?
yeah. In addition, some bee breeds are more aggressive and more protective of their place.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't get the box directly under the swarm because of the vine branches, how they went down, so some fell on the ground.
Wow, dude.
They're a little unhappy. See how they're trying to attack you a little bit?
Yeah.
Also depends on the type of bee.
Okay.
But these are angry bees.
Yeah,
These swarms are, they're moving they're not as territorial, but because they came in the morning, they kind of established their place.
Okay.
I want to walk away a little bit. You might want to walk away too. See how they're chasing me?
Yeah.
Several bees crawled under my suit and got me in my stomach, and that did really hurt. There is a hole on the box from this side, and they're starting to climb in the box. Since there was an entrance at the bottom, the bees tried to get back in the box, but some kind of settled on the branches around the box and decided to go through the night like that. Some of them want to go back to the branch because she leaves the scent.
Okay.
And they will vote and decide what they want to do as a whole, as a community,
Yeah. That is so cool.
But you have a bee life is about 30 days, in the summer.
Okay.
And so for the first 15 days, they'll take care of the larvae, feed the larvae. It will take care of the queen, stay in the hive to clean. It's called a nurse bee. And the next 15 days, it'll come out of the hive and protect the hive and start bringing nectar and stuff.
Wow.
And pollen. So the bees that are older, they're the ones that are
aggressive. Yeah.
They're not afraid to die,
Right.
They're at the end of their life.
Okay. So they hadn't started yet with like any making of anything yet. They didn't make any honey or even start that yet.
Well, some of them have honey inside the bee
Okay.
because they gotta feed each other.
Yeah.
And so they'll carry pollen and some honey. So what happens when the swarm comes out of the hive, because there's new queens that have been hatched inside the hive, so
Yeah.
some have to take off,
Okay.
and the bees follow them, and then they'll settle somewhere randomly.
Okay.
Sometimes really high on the tree, sometimes low, and then they fly around
Yeah.
to look to how to get into a house, like an attic, chimney,
Yeah.
a shed. Sometimes they'll decide to get in like a smoker or a barrel. I mean, I've removed them from a barrel or
Okay.
different things. They think, okay, this would be a nice home, or we think we can settle here permanently.
Okay.
But, I mean, like you said, if they've been here since the morning, they're a little more protective of their territory. Usually if they just settle, depends on the type of the beast too.
Okay.
You can like scoop them up and they're not aggressive. But because towards the evening, I should have known that they might be a little aggressive. But
Sure.
okay, you know.
Good.
I still need to go and pick up a bee swarm that I left at somebody's backyard. After this, I left a box with some frames in it,
Okay.
5-frame box.
Okay.
Because I shook them in the box, but they were flying around, and I couldn't get all of them in there
Okay.
because they were still looking around, you know.
Yeah.
So, well, the guy was really allergic to bees, and he wanted to mow his lawn. So I was like, okay, in order to get all of them, I have to leave it till the evening and come and pick it up. They should be all in the box.
Okay.
And so I'll go get them. But I was grabbing them with my hand, and they were fine.
Wow. So is this like the perfect time of year for this kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, the season for swarming is going to be over soon.
Okay.
And they swarm kind of right before a nectar flow, before there's going to be flowers. The biggest chance for them to survive.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some bees will buzz and just not sting, but just kind of bump.
Try to scare you a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of them, some breeds, they're aggressive.
Okay.
Africanized bees are aggressive.
Yeah.
So a darker bee usually is more aggressive, and these are pretty dark.
Okay.
Wild bees that are native to this area,
Yeah.
they'll be dark. They're more mite resistant and stuff. Italian bees are lighter,
Yeah.
and they're milder. You can come and
Wow.
sit next to the hive and you're fine.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe
These
you.
are darker bees, and some darker bees, they're just really mean.
Yeah.
Like there was a hive, I opened it up, and like there's a big swarm that goes up and buzzes over, and they're ready to attack, just like all over.
No kidding.
But other beehives, you open them up and you hold a frame, and they're not even running around. They're not stressed. They're really calm.
No kidding. I didn't even know. I mean, I didn't know it was here till we got back. I got back from walking my dog, and she wanted to come out to go potty. And I go to let her in, and there's like, oh my gosh, there you have it.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm just glad it wasn't in a tree.
I'll need to go get a brush.
Oh.
So most of them are in the box, but some are right here in the front.
Are they trying to decide if they want to climb in?
Yeah, I mean they're like,
Oh, you got some on the outside of the box too.
yeah. So I'm gonna sweep them inside and then try to get the rest of them off the ground.
A bunch of them just laying there.
Yeah, and but if you get close, there's a good chance they'll go after you.
Okay.
Just a warning. I scraped some bees off the box and threw them inside, and then I put a frame next to the branch, and they did kind of sweep them up, and then most of them climbed onto the frame, and then I would shake them off the frame, and I did that many times because not all of them would climb onto the frame right away, but a little bit at a time, and I probably shook them off like 10 times and waited a while to get all of them into this box, and by that time it got pretty dark. This way took me much longer, but I did get pretty much all the bees inside the box. Venom when you get close. Really? Mm-hmm. At this point, I wish I had my bee vacuum and I could just vacuum them up off the branch and off the ground little by little. Those bee shop vacuums are really nice and handy when it comes to some of these swarm removal jobs. I've removed the bee swarms with this box before, and it took me less than a minute. I would position the box right under the swarm that was on a branch, and then I would put the lid over the top of the swarm, and as I shook them I closed the lid and pulled out the branch, and I would pretty much get 100% of the bees, and it was just boom, done, and I was gone. But this was totally different because where the bees were located on the vine branches, there was no way I could put the box right under the swarm and shake all of them in. You know, it takes time and gas for traveling to remove the swarm, and like this swarm it took much longer, but at the end I was pretty happy. I got most of the bees rescued and they are in a good home. They're going to bring some honey. The people who contacted us were pretty happy. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.